Hi, I want to start out by saying that this may be a trigger to some people. I'm going to continue talking about my sexual abuse story. I talked about what I experienced when I was around 10 years old because of my biological half brother, and now I'm going to talk about what I experienced from one of my so called boyfriends when I was 14. So, um, for a long time, I actually didn't even know if it was considered rape, um, because I eventually caved and said yes. So, here's the story. I was, as I said, 14. He was 20 or 21. He was still in high school, though, senior year. I was a freshman. Um, I don't know how long we were together. It wasn't that long, I don't think. Um, I had been with somebody else, and I hadn't quite broken up with him when I went back to this guy. And the first time that the sexual abuse happened, this guy told me when he found out, he's like, "You either have to suck me or let me do it up your rear." And so I socked him, which I didn't like doing. And he actually held my head down, like forced it down. I should have bit him. I was afraid of what would happen to me if I did that. The worst time happened when I was with him and we were with two of his friends. That was a couple that were about his age, and we went to a hotel. Wasn't in the mood to do sexual activity, so I told him I didn't want to have sex. He said that was fine. Some point when we got to the hotel, he decided, well, I'm sure he decided before that, he started with sexual behavior. I told him I didn't want to do it, that he had agreed we weren't going to have to do it, and he continued to do it, to pursue it. I physically fought him, and he wouldn't stop. So eventually, as I said, I caved. And I was already smoking weed then. I had started when I was 10 because of my biological half brother. And I was drinking then again also. Well, I was drinking already. I was getting drunk because of my biological half brother. And I was trading myself for drugs and alcohol because of my biological half brother. And so I told him, like, okay, I'll do it. Just let me get high first. He's like, oh, that's my good little pothead. And I hated it with every fiber of my being. I'm 35 now. As I said, it took till this year to know if it was actually rape or not because of me caving. My mom had always told me that if I needed a ride home because of somebody being drunk, that she would give me a ride home, no questions asked. But we never discussed something like this because she couldn't fathom that I'd be in a situation like that. And so I was afraid of what was going to happen. I was afraid of what he would do if I continued to fight back. I was afraid of calling my mom and telling her that I was at a hotel with this 21-year-old guy when I was 14. I was afraid of getting in trouble. So I caved, and it's something that ate at my soul. And it was the beginning of so much abuse, emotional and sexual abuse. I've always been a fighter, so guys didn't physically abuse me. A lot of people say emotional abuse is worse. So if you've experienced anything like this, just don't do what I did. Don't stay quiet. Talk about it. Get your feelings out there. Get your struggle out there. Don't let the evil people consume your life and torment you longer than you have to have it go on for.